And we're live. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, Mystic Manifesting family. Sorry for the noise. Getting this cigar opened up for today's Monday live. I hope you guys enjoyed the surprise live on, what was that? Oh, it was last Monday already. It's been a week. So, yeah, SP, my girlfriend, Lily, was here last week. We had some trouble starting that live, actually. We tried to do it off the laptop. And I saw, actually, while editing some footage from the other live stream I did off the laptop by myself, it was pretty ridiculous that it's grainy as hell and it's awful. And it's like the texture of the cigar. This is not going to be enjoyable because the humidifier has dehumidified. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I saw on our first attempt with the laptop, we had like 250 views and maybe close to 300 views now at this point. But it was only a minute and a half long because we kept freezing, and whatever reason the laptop wasn't connecting to the internet. So we came here and we did the other one, and we had a lot of viewers. So I appreciate all you guys who came in and saw that. If you're new, welcome in. And me and her are actually planning to get another live stream going and do one where it's a little bit more planned out, not a surprise thing right before bed after being tired from a workout and stuff like that. So we're going to light up the cigar and we'll get going, even though I am not looking forward to this. It is a beat up cigar. Inked, what's up, Queen? How you doing? Oh yeah, this is not going to be good. Hey, but everything works out in our favor. So what did I title this video? I had a topic. I have it written down somewhere. Oh yeah, about flow. We're going with the flow state. So I'll light up the cigar. We'll let some people come in and we'll start the discussion. Oh yeah, this is not going to be fun. Anyway, hold on. You know that thing where they say anything that can go wrong will? That's what's happening. All right. So let's talk about going with the flow. It's kind of the approach where I am in life right now in terms of manifesting. And we go through different phases of life. Like when you want to be with your specific person, you're going to only be focused on that. And the big thing is you got to break away from it because it shows trust and faith and like living in the end truly of what you want. But as time goes on, you start to want other things. The relationship gets manifested in, and it's like now more money would be interesting, or it would be actually necessary, or I don't like the job I'm in, I want to switch that, or whatever it is in life. You start to want more things. That's the thing. That's about being human. We have desires. Desires are created in us, so that way we have a draw and a pull and a motivation to do something. Becoming uncomfortable somewhere in life is a cause for change. Like when I lost all that weight and did the bodybuilding show, and I started gaining more muscle, and whenever I would change any changes in my body, I was in a feeling of disgust or uncomfortability. When I left the previous job, I was in such a disgusted and uncomfortable position to be taking orders off people who treated me like garbage. And I started within loving myself, treating myself good, undoing the affirmations that were put in my head. Because if you're not careful, the world will condition you and program you to be who they want you to be. And you'll be in that space where life is happening to you and not for you. So, in order for life to happen for us, we need to take control. And one of the things is being very clear about what you want. And I'm someone who's not always on that page. I mean, my whole life I was always goal-oriented. I'm going to do this and this and this. And this got to happen first, and that's got to happen first. The problem is you get a little bit too much like that, and you're all over the place. You're jumping around. It's like, well, I'll try this first, and if this doesn't work out, then I'll do that. And you get the scatterbrain effect, which I've got a video scheduled for Muscular Mystic on that. So if you guys aren't subscribed, subscribe over to Muscular Mystic. That's my other channel, and we do have a membership channel here now. We're up to 4 videos, so if you guys want, take a look at the Muscular Mystic. It's the second channel. And the membership channel here. We got 4 videos on the membership channel. And like it's Halloween time. We're having fun with it. I'm going to do a spooky one, and I'm going to do one about a psychic too. And on top of that, I did mention the thing about coaching. I will be out of town from October 24th to the 29th, and I'm taking that 30th off as well. So you guys won't be able to get coaching by then. So within the next 4 days, if you need/want coaching, sign up now for this week. If not, schedule it for after. And then if you want to watch extra videos, like I said, Muscular Mystics free, and then there's the $5. Oh, what is it? Yeah, $5 a month for the extra content here. We're up to 4 videos. Each one is 20 to 30 minutes long. And I just posted, there's one uploading right now. So I don't know if it's already up. And I've got another one recorded for next week. It's okay, Mama Mystic. You don't have to worry about responding. Welcome in. We're just I just recorded a couple videos, so I'm trying to keep myself on track. I responded to some stuff over on TikTok too. But the topic of this is like flow. So it's trusting everything's going to work out. A lot of times, a lot of us don't have plans in life. And like I said, sometimes I feel the same way. I don't have a plan. I don't know what I want to do. It's like, this will be nice. That will be nice. And we're overwhelmed with possibilities because when you lock into something, you have to, not forever, but sometimes or for a good amount of time, you have to release what you're working on at the moment, all these other little possibilities, and lock into that one thing. Like, as you see, it's like on my printer, the next chapter I printed out for studying for my personal training exam, which I was slacking off on because it was like, oh, I'm going to do personal training and I'm going to coach Mystic and I'm going to run Mystic Manifesting and I'm going to post on Nick and Lily and then I might go back to comedy. Plus, I'm going to work my day job and spend time with Lily and spend time with my family and go and do all these things. You don't have enough time in the day, but it doesn't mean those things aren't possible. But at the moment, you pick one thing. You pick the easiest. Like if you're in a fight and you're getting jumped, you're going to pick the easiest enemy to attack to just get yourself out of that position. Same thing in any kind of like fighting situation. It's like you're looking for the easiest move you could make. If you're doing like, if I was a wrestler, if you're wrestling, you look for the next move that you can make. That's the easiest move you can make to beat this guy, to beat this circumstance. The other wrestler's a circumstance in this situation. What is the next move I can make that is the best thing for me? And you don't have to know exactly what you want to do, but you have to know, like, this is something I'm interested in. And I'm going to give it 100% what I got. Not one toe in, not one foot in, but both feet in, not being double-minded. This is something I want, and this is something I'm going to focus on. I could still have other interests, and I could still dabble in other things, but I'm understanding that my focus, my attention, my effort, my energy, and all my assumptions and everything are going to be geared towards this. But in the meantime, you got to be careful that you're not distracting yourself by veering off too much on the other stuff. Rocky, what's up, brother? Good to see you, champ. I see you came in. It's funny that you came in right now, Rocky, because I was actually giving a fighting reference, and I don't know where it came from. It just kind of like popped up. I'm like, I've wrestled for 2 years, and I never really made a wrestling reference. And I was just doing like a blue collar reference in the video I just posted, or no, the one I got for the next day. But it's just funny. I brought up a fighting reference and then moved it to like the wrestling reference. And you're a boxer and you popped in. So good to see you, Rocky. Again, there's perfect example. So thank you for that, Rocky. That's an example of flow. It was not the first assumption or like the first example, or it was the first example that popped to my head, but it's not something that sticks to what I do, right? So I just naturally flowed into that example, and then somebody to corroborate that story would be Rocky. Like, in a fight, you're going to look for the next most natural move to make that makes the most sense to get you out of the particular situation you're in. And life can be a fight at the same time, or it could be a dance. I'm not a dancer, but in a dance, there's a next step that you can do. There's always one thing that you can do that will get you just a little bit further ahead. This is almost more, sometimes it feels like a little bit of 3D advice, but the flow state it's like almost like you're not needing to start scripting every single night or write a letter again, or go to sleep and say, I have to do this, and wake up and like, I'm doing all this gratitude so I can get this other thing. And you don't have to do all these like techniques all the time. Like I said, techniques are tools to get a job done. And I think that's the best reference to them is when I related it to like working with tools in the shop. Multiple tools can do the same job, but you pick the tool that you like the most. Like The other day, here's one. I was changing my car battery yesterday, and I didn't feel like getting out a socket set to find the socket to take off the leads on the battery. I used my channel locks, and my dad was with me, and he's like, "I've never seen anyone use that." I'm like, "It's not the right tool, but it's the lazy man's tool, and I carry it all the time, and I like this tool." I was able to use it to get the job done, but it's not the preferred tool. Just like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't like doing the visualizations and stuff like that." That might not be their preferred tool, but the tool of scripting can also get them to the same spot, if that makes sense. Exactly, Rocky. Yeah, let it flow. And you're also a perfect example of flow in life too. You know, he said he's getting. If you guys can't see, I know when on the rewatch you can't see what they write, but Rocky's getting married to his SP, and he let it flow naturally too. And what happened in that time? We were working together. He was a client. We knew each other for a long time, and we had a bunch of sessions and stuff like that, and became close friends after. And he went with the flow. He worked on his business. He worked on he's a coach as well. He worked on his music too, which, by the way, congratulations. I think I referenced it back when he was going through all that stuff, but Rocky wound up. You correct me if I'm wrong, but you were featured in Rolling Stone. He was in a competition for it too, and he wound up dropping 2 albums there, very good too. So he focused on himself in that time. It didn't mean that he didn't want to be happily married with an SP that he loved, but it just meant he chose himself, and he gave himself what he wanted. And what was the next natural move? It was, you know what? Here's something I've been putting off and I wanted to do. Let me just do this. I've got time on my hands now. I'm not worried about manifesting the SP. It was more or less that he could just relax and know, that's faith. That's trusting it's going to show up. What's up, man? You're good. You're not that late. It's only been only 12 minutes in right now. And a lot of it was me trying to get the cigar lit. I was manifesting an old SP that didn't work. I focused on me, and now I have a wife and a son. Exactly, yeah. He was focusing on an old SP too. And I remember when we were working, it's like, and you had movement too. Like she would come in, and then it was just like at the end, you were like, I don't want the hot and colds. There was an old story attached to it. It's a lot to let go, but the old story didn't repeat in his new relationship. It did not repeat in his life now because he worked so much on himself and his assumptions of himself that he found someone that reflects those values and how he treats himself and got everything that he asked for too. So that's what I love to hear that story too, because a lot of people are like, well, if I don't have remember the first SP I was trying to manifest, she did show up a year later after I was already with Lily. But people are like, oh, well, then it didn't work. It's like, the bridge is always unfolding. And sometimes you step away, you focus on other stuff, and you get lost in the flow of life. That thing comes with you. So are you really going to buckle down and spend years and years on a certain thing, and then you're going to get the result either way, but you let life pass you by? Life is short. And I talk about it in the video I just posted. Actually, it's unlisted at the moment. I got to switch it to active, so when I'm off the live, I'll post it. But at the end of the video, I talk about life is short. You don't know how long you have your family and your friends for. You don't know how long that you have to accomplish all your goals and dreams. So why waste a minute of it crying about somebody else and just feeling bad about yourself? Now, have I been there? Can I talk shit? Yeah, because I can talk shit because I've been there. I've wasted time on stuff. I've done stupid things because I had my heart broken. It doesn't mean that that's the end of the story. It doesn't mean that everything fell apart. It doesn't mean you have to stay with the same SP. It's this on an individual basis. Like I said, there's a tool that works for me that might not work for you because the one I'm using I like, but it might not feel as natural to you. It's all about finding the tool that works well with your mentality and your life and what you like to do. If I gave you scripting and you were someone that hated writing in school and you can't even stand writing a text message, you'd rather call people or send audio messages, then maybe scripting's not the move for you. But if you're really sold on the idea of it and you're like, oh, I'm going to push through because it's going to get me this result, and you believe because doing this hard action is going to get you there, it will. The first friend I had that worked on scripting that kind of opened the door to that realm for me with scripting, he was a writer. He wrote short films, he wrote movies, he wrote stories just like me. That's what, got us together as friends and stuff like that. We were into the same stuff. We liked writing. We liked storytelling. So obviously the process, the stuff he was going through, he was writing it all down and stuff like that. And now fast forward 5 years later, 6 years later, he's married with, I just came from his daughter's birthday party. Like, he's one of my best friends. I just came from his daughter's birthday party and seeing his SP and stuff like that and all the stuff that they went through. I saw that man script and I saw him play around with the manifesting ideas and like the dating coach stuff and like all over the place, but it's still unfolded. And I thought, I'm like, there's something to this, but I wasn't in love with anybody. I didn't have an SP at the time, so I didn't think about it, but something in my mind drew attention to it, that something crazy just happened here that shouldn't have, but it did. Not shouldn't have in a bad way, but it's just like, from what we're conditioned to believe in life, that doesn't make any sense. They're writing something down. He was writing down his day. And like I said, the scripting technique that I love to use, and I've used it myself, and I've had success with my SP. And not just my SP, but life in general. Money, job, things like that. So it's like good things have unfolded from just scripting it down. I write down what I want to do every day. Like, or the way my day should have went. And I learned it from him. It's like his day didn't play out the way he wanted, but he would write down the inner conversations he had with his wife from terms that this is his wife every day. And it took a while. I want to say it was 6 to 8 months or something like that. It was like almost a year being broken up and them seeing other people. And one of these days, I've been talking about it for a year or two, but hey, just because it has happened in a year or two doesn't mean it's never going to happen. We're both busy guys. It's hard to get together. But yeah, he wound up being with her after all that time. They both had seen other people and stuff, wound up getting back together, and now they're good and have a kid, and they're very happy together. I'm happy to see that and been part of the process to a degree just to watch it. I mean, I wasn't a coach. I didn't even have my first SP yet. I like all the old SP, and my new SP treats me the way I treat myself. It's not always perfect, but it's 1,000 times different. I have no old feelings. Towards my SP. I manifested an apology from my old SP. See, that's awesome, Rocky. I love that. And yeah, he wrote down, Nick will be at my wedding in June. Yes, I will be. And if Mama Mystic is still in the chat, I mean, there's a sign somewhere in my house that I got it hung up. I got an invite to another wedding, and I believe that yours is a little bit off. I haven't received the invitation yet, but whenever you send them out, I believe it's like I'm going to be going back-to-back weddings. I think it might even be the same weekend, but you might be the day after. But my cousin's getting married as well, so it's like back-to-back, and I will be there. So that's my assumption right now, without even knowing the time, June 27th. I want to go. Part of me wants to run, but I'm going to remember it. Right, not to have a negative assumption, but sometimes my memory's not. I'm going to write it down so I could see it when I go out there. Shoot you a message after. But yeah, it was amazing to see that. So it's like the story of my friend and the story of me. It's like we chose to be with the SPs that we were, manifesting back. Rocky got the apology from his SP and was able to, you probably had forgiven her internally first. And next thing you know, you get that apology, but you have already, because I remember like things were going, there was movement and stuff. If I remember correctly, maybe my memory is not the best in this situation because it's been a while since we worked together, but it seemed like movement and stuff. And you kind of just said, you know what, it doesn't feel right. I don't want this anymore. I just want to focus on me. And you were falling in love with the process of you. And it's like, in that time, somebody had made a documentary of you. I remember someone made a documentary of you. You released 2 albums. You were featured in Rolling Stone. And then you, what's it called? You already had a house though, but it's like, but then you meet the woman that you're going to marry. And now you have a wife and son. But officially the wedding and stuff when it unfolds, unless you guys have already eloped. But either way, it's talking from the end, your wife. That's awesome. I love to hear that story. And I've actually used your example in a story with a few clients who had told me not sharing your personal details or nothing, but like as an example of you can choose a new specific person and still be happy. Because I've had a lot of people, they say, well, I don't know if I want a new specific person or should I just manifest my old one and stuff like that. If you can't let go of old memories and you keep bringing them up and you keep bringing down a constant fight and a constant and am I just as guilty as this as anyone else? Yes, it's very hard. So that's a lot where I have my love for Lily too, because she has the patience and it was something I assumed that, she cares about me no matter what, even when I'm fucking up. And sometimes I'll bring it to the point of breaking up because I couldn't let go of this is not anymore. But I had brought it up to that point where it's like, it's getting here because I'm fighting and existing and in the mentality of this old person who's not here anymore. When you accept that that person has changed, it was a long time where I'm like, you can't change, you can't change. Even when I had seen the change, it's like, no, people don't change. It's a facade, it's fake, whatever. And then she would have those thoughts about me at the same time too. It's like, oh, Nick doesn't change. He's always this way. He's always going to be this and he'll never forgive me. But then it's like you enter that flow state. It's like, I don't try to manifest anything with my specific person anymore. I haven't for a long time. It's like, I want it to be natural and like the course of life. So it's like, okay, we're in this relationship, but it's me and her. It's not like I'm praying for God to come in and like change anything about the relationship. It's like, I want it to be just, between us. I wanted the shot. I prayed for the shot. I knew that the relationship would be good if we got together. I visualized the shot and everything like that. And finally, the time came, I got my shot. And it's like, there was something about it. Like you've seen in the videos that she said the other day, it's like, she couldn't forget me. There was something about me that always stood out. And it's like, that's something energetic. That's not something that like, are there guys in better shape than me? That if you're single and you could be with anybody in the world, there's people in better shape than me. There's people with more money than me. There's people that are more successful than me. There's people that you got more in common with, but you chose me. And this is not me speaking to her, but if she's watching, it makes sense, right? She had chose me over that stuff. And then I had chosen her. Like, there's something about her self-concept too. It's like, that's what brings people together. It's like their self-concepts of each other too. It's like, if I'm the same way as her, if I was single too, and I could be with anybody, and it's like, are there people who fit the mold that is different, that like on paper what the world wants? It's like, you should be like, the world will tell you should be with somebody like this, like that, and they have all these different attributes. Why? Because that's just what things are, and that's just normal. I think I think the biggest core thing that draws us together, and maybe this is my assumption, but we both don't like to be normal. We both like to be outside the box. So it's like every day we break all the rules. It's not the thing that holds us together, but I think it's a solid commonality between us that we like to stand out and be different. And we don't like to fall into the mold, but still, let stuff flow. You could let a regular relationship flow. You could let new relationships flow in, and you could let an old one flow back together. But it's trusting that destination, that river that's flowing is going to lead you to the lake or the ocean of what you want in life. So you're sitting on the river and you're flowing. You have to trust that flow is going to go to where you want. And there's nothing you can do. You got no paddle or nothing. You're going with it. The only thing that can control the boat is your thought. And your thought is going to create circumstances in that river to drift you and move you to the place that you want to be. The whole time knowing that it's exactly what you want. Look at Nick getting invited to weddings like Neville did. Oh, Nick, you brought up a good point there. I forgot about that. I know Neville did go to his clients' weddings. Well, I will be at yours too, Inked, because we know what's coming. And what's it called? Oh, what's up, John? I missed your message right there. Welcome in, John. Sicario, welcome in. Just wanted to let you know this works. I still use techniques to smooth things out. But since I already believe my SP and I can get through anything we do, but we don't say, let me manifest my way out of this. We just let it show up different. Exactly, Rocky. It's you do it the same way as me. It's like once you get into it, it's like you be using techniques to like. I believe that there's something to it, and you could vouch for this too from like a therapeutic like sense to it. Is these are also I've got a couple friends now who are therapists who I've met through the channels of my friend group and stuff like that. I've met a couple guys. One's in school for therapy. Another one is a therapist. It's like the stuff that we discussed. It's like they're telling me stuff that therapists say and like the advice therapists give and techniques they use for self-regulating, for calming people down, for don't overthink a situation stuff. It's like, well, that's literally manifesting. There's a tie to it. And then like a couple people who I've known through this channel who are therapists, I've worked with a couple therapists and stuff, and like they said, there is a tie to it. It's heavy in therapy. Like it's believed. Not everybody, not all therapists believe it and stuff like that, or counselors or whatever. They don't all believe it, but they've all told, like all the ones who I've met have told me there's a heavy degree of clients who believe in this stuff, and like they bring it and they have to flow and bridge in with the clients to say, okay, I understand where you're coming from, even though if they're all science minded, they don't believe it. There's science, like in the video that's being posted today or we're uploading right now. That video where I do talk about the science, I touch on it a little bit, like the placebo effect and Dr. Joe Dispenza or Greg Braden and all these guys where they're talking about these different medical studies and stuff where people just manifested miracles, and the videos about manifesting on behalf of another. Mama Mystic's in the chat right now too. And I mean, there was a time where the doctors basically told us she's going to die, and I used the I remember when technique. Why did I use that technique and not revision or scripting or anything like that? It's like, because that's the first tool in the toolbox that I grabbed that could make sense of that situation. It looked like the right tool at the right time, and it was, because the next day we get a call saying she's perfectly fine. They have no idea. The doctors were blown away. And the same thing with my uncle too. Doctors were blown away by that. So it's like, you can manifest on behalf of others. And there's the flow and the detachment are both signs of, they're two faces on the same coin of detachment, or of faith. Detachment. Was it? I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to say flow. I'm all over the place right now. I had a good analogy and I lost it. Either way, I think you guys know what I'm saying. Being detached is trust, and trust is faith. It doesn't mean that you're giving up on something, but knowing that something better is coming, whether it is this relationship is going to get better, this job circumstance, this money circumstance, or your relationship that you're trying to get back, it's all going to go where it's supposed to go. Because at the end, it's an assumption. Remember, we call it the law of assumption. You change your assumption on something. So, there's a line that my grandpa used to say: "Don't assume you'll make an ass out of you and me," because of the way the word's broken down or whatever. Don't assume you'll make an ass out of you and me. And if Mama Mystic's here, she'll know that. And I think I said this in a very, very early Mystic video. I would make an addendum to that same line. Don't assume negatively where you will make an ass out of you and I. So having a negative assumption on someone or a certain situation is going to make an ass out of you and I and anybody involved in that specific situation. So when you change how you assume something for someone, or when you change your assumption of a person, a situation, a financial situation, a money or job or whatever, it will change. A lot of people say they're like, "Oh, it's hard to earn money." Then you're always, if you statistically never really had much money. I heard it the other day, and I always give credit where it's due. The comedian Charleston White, he said it the other day, and I don't know if it's an old video or not, but I saw it the other day. He goes, "You can be broke. Broke is a temporary circumstance. Poor is a mindset. Never be poor." So yeah, you might not have money, but that's just temporary. Money comes and goes, and I learned a lot of that from my mom's side of the family. They were very free with money. It's like, you know what? If we got it, we're taking care of people. We're treating people, and like when bad stuff happened, the good always came back, or there was always food, always shelter, something always worked out, even when financial situations didn't look good. But they trusted, their assumption was money comes easily, and fuck it, it's just money. I'll go to work and get more. That was like one of my grandpa's lines, and it's true. It's like, went from having a ton of money to like no money to more money. It's like there was always, the family was never broke. So when the other side of my family, it's like there wasn't much money, and it was like the assumption is money's hard to get. It doesn't grow on trees. We got to work hard to get it, and save it, don't spend it, and like don't spend on stupid stuff. Some of the best times in my life where I was making the most money, and like I had a ton of clients, I was getting a ton of overtime, money was coming in from random places. Like I said, I found $1,000 in the ATM and the $300 on the ground. Those stories that I've told you guys before, it's like all those things were happening all at once. Or it's like the other day when we did a challenge, it's like I'm like, hey, I wonder if I'll be able to get $1,000 within 6 weeks, unexpected. And I tied a hand behind my back saying it can't come from overtime at work. It can't come from any 9 to 5. And then I was going to even say no coaching, but it's like I didn't have many clients at that time either. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can do that too, because that's unexpected. But I tied a hand behind my back and did it. And then I get a notification saying I got money from my credit card, and it was like $800 in rewards points. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know it was a cashback card. And it was like, all right, so let's move it to 2,000. And within the 6 weeks, I did make the 2,000 as well. So money is a state of mind. And I've built in the belief, the more I spend, the more people I take care of, the more I look for, God pays it back tenfold. You get more money than you spent, because you'll always be paid back for the good that you do. Some of the most generous people will never be broke, or they might have a lot of money in their account, but They're the most generous people, and they will never go without because people will always look out for them. God will always bless them, and that's their assumption. They know that they will always be looked out for, and they are. Let go and let the river of life carry you to the destination. Exactly, Inked. I love it. Is a good metaphor. I mean, the flow is just, you're going with the river. You're not trying to change anything. You're trusting what needs to be changed will. It's kind of a good way to get out of the figuring out the how. Like, oh, I got to know how this is going to get done. I got to know every little specific detail of the plan. Otherwise, I'm going to freak out and not trust it. It's trusting so much that you don't need the details. I don't need the how. I know it's going to work out. And then sometimes to justify it too and calm your mind, I was just thinking about the revision success. I've told you guys the revision success on a couple of these, and I got a video dedicated to it now. Getting ashes all over the place. I got a video coming out soon about my revision success story. And, the whole time you could panic about something, it's like, okay, where's the realistic thing I could do to deal with this? Realistically, when it was like thinking I damaged my dad's car and I borrowed it, I was like, do I know a guy who's got a shop? No. Do I have a friend who knows a guy who's got a shop? Yep. Does that guy do detailing? Yep. Is it affordable? Yeah, because you could probably get a discount to a friend or whatever. Okay, cool. Then there's a solution in the 3D world to figure this out. Now I've regulated myself. You could always, when you program your mind, you could always figure it out that, hey, somewhere I'm going to be able to solve this problem. I'm going to be able to solve this problem without manifesting. You take it out of your mind. It's like, even if there was no, like, I always do this. Like, this is how my mind works. Worst case scenario, say there is none. Can I figure it out anyway? Yeah. And that's a faith you have in yourself. And then guess what? The miracles start to unfold. The manifestations start to show up. And you don't feel as stressed out. There are certain times where it's like, I can't think of a solution. And it's like, you can't use that method of relieving that anxiety and that stress because you really can't, or you try so hard that you miss what's right in front of you. You ever have look, you guys can see my desk. There's shit all over the table. Let's say I can't find my keys. They're under one sheet of paper or something. They're under the sheet of paper and I'm running late. I'm freaking out. The answer's right in front of me because I've created a pressurized system. If I would have came in here and been like, lift that up over here, I would have found it in maybe a minute or two. But instead, I spent 15 minutes because I write off this area. It's like, there's no way that's going to work. So it's like you're writing off manifesting. I just tried it. There's no way that's working. I'm going to go check somewhere else. And then you're running around and you're looking in the wrong areas and you're trying to do all these things. And it's like, maybe you're about to find your spare keys that you lost a while ago by going and digging in a completely other area. But then you get mad and it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe it was over here. Maybe manifesting does work. I'm going to come back and you're searching over here and you tear it up and you make more of a mess. And it's like, no, it's not here. And it's like, so what would have taken you 2 minutes or a minute of just slowly looking through everything where you would have found it and calm and not freaking out over a pressurized system, a system that you pressurized yourself. You're running late, but it was your fault that you woke up late, your fault you're leaving for work late, but then trusting it's like, I'm not going to get fired for this. It's a legit thing. I'm going to, or like, it's like, well, if I'm late, I'll just say this, or I could just call ahead and say, hey, is this. You're not going to, I know a lot of people who are always late for work and they're never fired. So it's like, you start breaking things down. It's like, nobody ever gets fired for being late. I've been late before. It's not a big deal. They really like me over there. It's not going to take me long to find this. And you start breaking things down and it's like, the situation was never pressurized. It was your assumption and your assumption and your idea of the situation, your perception. That's what it is. The word I was looking for, perception. It's your perception of that situation that made it pressurized and an end all be all when it was really, I can't find my keys. And then in 20 years, you look back, it's like, you won't even remember that day. But in that moment, it's such a big thing that it's just tearing your life apart. Don't even fast forward 20 years. A couple of weeks from now, you're not going to even remember that day where you couldn't find the keys. So it's like, think about that in life. Everything that seems like such a big deal now, it won't be in a couple of weeks to a couple months. So relax and let it flow. And I use this example, I think, with a client or on the Discord live. But I don't remember where, but I use this example. It's like, whatever your most stressful day of grammar school was, you probably can't even remember it because life has gone on and you realize that was what was so important back then was not important. And it's like they say in that esoteric teachings, it's like when you die, then none of this was ever really that important. We just put situations out there that made it important. We would have been happy with whatever if we were just able to relax and let it flow, let go and let it flow. So with that, I see Manifesting Mandrills here. Happy Monday, brother. Happy Manifesting Monday. Love it. And now we're gonna wait for Glizzy, but he's here. He's near, or you got to go switch an account. I don't know. So, I mean, that's pretty much all the lecture I had now. I had the lecture. I promoted the coaching, promoted the membership channel, and I promoted the Muscular Mystic channel. So if you guys got any questions or anything, let me know. We do like a quick Q&A. We could talk about anything you guys want to talk about now. We'll hold off for like another 5 minutes or so. If not, we'll wrap up. We're about 20 minutes earlier than usual, but I got a lot of videos coming out. The next video that's being released today is 30 minutes long. There's another one coming out 15 minutes long. We got all the videos on the membership channel are 20 to 30 minutes long. And then Muscular Mystic, they're a little bit shorter. They're like 5-10 minutes, but just some extra content if you need it.